let's just jump right in. We are seeing one of the most intense and honestly fast-moving battles in the car world right now.
Oh, absolutely. It's the fight for the small, affordable electric car.
Exactly. It's where, real-world practicality has to meet a price people can actually afford.
And this year, we've really seen three main contenders emerge in that crucial sub 25,000 pound market. You've got the Renault 5 E-Tech, which has all that retro charm.
Yep.
Then the Citroen EC3, which is all about the budget. And then the BYD Dolphin Surf.
The surprisingly powerful one. And today we're pulling from two fantastic sources for you.
Right. We have a full real-world road test comparing those three, but we're also bringing in a deep technical analysis of a brand new challenger that's about to shake things up.
The Volkswagen ID Polo. So our mission today is pretty clear. We're cutting through all the marketing noise to find out what these cars are actually like.
For you, the listener, we're going to figure out which one really gives the best balance of, range, performance, practicality, and cost.
And since it's the last day of the year, December 31st, 2025, we're taking a final look at the battlefield as it stands, right before VW drops this new challenger in 2026.
Let's do it.
I mean, you really can't overstate how important these cars are. They're filling a huge gap in the market.
They really are. You've got the expensive sort of premium EVs like the Mini Cooper electric on one side.
And on the other, the super, super cheap ones like the Dacia Spring, which are, let's be honest, pretty compromised.
Right. These three promise to be affordable without you having to sacrifice everything that makes a car usable day to day.
So tell us about the specific versions they tested.
Okay, so the sources were very specific to make it a fair fight. First up, the Renault 5 Urban Range. It was the mid-spec Techno version.
And the price on that?
It comes in at $24,995. For that, you get a 40 kilowatt-hour battery and an official range of 193 miles.
Okay. And the Citroen?
The EC3 was the top-spec Max version, and it's actually a bit cheaper, $23,795. It has a slightly bigger battery, 43.7 kilowatt-hours, for a claimed 199-mile range.
And the wild card, a BYD.
The BYD Dolphin Surf, they tested the top-trim Comfort version. That has a 43.2 kilowatt-hour battery, 200-mile official range. But here's the kicker. It undercuts the base Renault 5 on price.
Wow.
Yeah. And if you're purely budget-driven, they have an even cheaper active model under 19 grand, but the battery is tiny, only 137 miles of range.
I have to stop you there because the BYD naming is just baffling.
It's something else, isn't it?
They call the fast version Comfort and the slower one Boost. It makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
And the color of the test car, it's a metallic yellow, but BYD calls it lime green.
It does feel like maybe something got lost in translation for the international market.
For sure. So, quirks aside, what was the test itself?
It was a proper real-world journey. They drove from Twickenham in London all the way down to a surfing spot on the south coast.
So, a good mix of motorway and country roads.
Exactly. The whole point was to test real range, see how much luggage you can actually fit, and just how they feel to drive in normal conditions.
Okay, so let's get into the interiors. This is where you live with the car.
Yeah.
The Renault 5 seems to be the benchmark here.
Oh, absolutely. For this price, the quality inside is it's a step above. They use these really clever recycled materials like a denim effect fabric.
And that Google-based infotainment system is supposed to be excellent.
It is, but honestly, the biggest win for the R5 is so simple. It has physical buttons for the air conditioning.
Yes. No digging through menus. That's a huge plus for safety, for convenience.
It really is, but there's always a but.
Oh.
The back seats, all that style up front comes at a cost. The sources said knee room, foot room, and head room are all seriously tight. It's the smallest of the three by a long shot.
So it's more of a two-person car with occasional rear passengers.
Pretty much. And that's where the Citroen EC3 comes in. The front feels, built to a budget.
Bit cheaper.
A bit cheaper, less refined than the Renault. But then you get in the back, and it's a different world. Way more head and knee room. It's a proper small family car.
But the Citroen has its own design quirks, right? I read they put the physical AC controls somewhere weird.
They did. They're positioned so low on the dash that the steering wheel rim actually blocks your view of them. It almost defeats the purpose of having them.
Okay, so what about the BYD's interior?
The Dolphin Surf is, quality-wise, probably closer to the Renault. It uses some unique materials.
I think I read it feels like wetsuit material.
Yeah, neoprene, which is either a fun, clever nod to the Surf name or just plain weird, depending on your taste. But the storage is fantastic.
Better than the others.
Oh, way better. Big cubby areas, a wireless charging pad, It just feels more thought out for stashing your stuff.
And the climate controls.
Another quirk. Instead of degrees, you get settings like H6 or L3. You have to use the touchscreen for most things, though there is a three-finger swipe shortcut. It's just not as simple as a dial.
Right. Let's talk boot space.
Yeah.
The Citroen is biggest on paper, right? 310 liters.
It is, and they managed to fit 5 suitcases in, which is impressive. The big downside, though, is no underfloor storage at all.
So your charging cables are just loose in the boot.
Exactly. The Renault is the smallest at 277 liters, but it's good shape. The BYD, though, has a secret weapon.
Go on.
Massive, deep underfloor storage. You can fit a whole extra suitcase under there, so it also holds 5. The only catch is the BYD is strictly a 4-seater. The other 2 are 5-seaters.
Ah, that's a really important distinction. Okay, so how do they actually drive?
This is where the Renault 5 really shines. It's the clear winner, the ride, the handling. It's all down to its more sophisticated rear suspension. It feels like a more expensive car.
And the Citroen?
The complete opposite. It's very soft, kind of wallowy over bumps. The steering is super light, doesn't give you much confidence on a winding road.
So the BYD sits in the middle?
Right in the middle. It's quieter than the Renault on the motorway. Not as floaty as the Citroen, but not nearly as fun to drive as the R5.
I did see one shared complaint, though.
Yes. The brakes.
All of them were described as inconsistent and grabby. That's a bit worrying.
It is. It seems to be a common issue with budget EVs, trying to blend the regenerative braking with the physical brake smoothly. None of them have quite nailed it.
Let's get to the big numbers then. Range and charging. They drove about 140 miles before the first stop.
Yep. And the BYD arrived with the most charge left, 29%, showing 57 miles of range. The Renault had 17%, and the Citroen, 19%.
So the BYD's real-world range seems to hold up better.
It definitely seems that way. And at the charger, the story was even clearer. The Citroen was the slowest, taking 39 minutes to get to 80%.
Ouch.
The Renault was much better, 28 minutes. But the BYD was the winner, just 25 minutes. That's a big deal on a road trip.
Okay, now for my favorite part of the test. The drag race surprise.
This was fascinating. The BYD Dolphin Surf Comfort officially does 0-62 in 9.1 seconds. On paper, it's the slow one.
But not in reality.
Not at all. It just walked away from the others. It hit 0-60 in 8.0 seconds flat. The R5 took 17.1 seconds for the quarter mile. The EC3 was over 18 seconds. The BYD did it in 16.5.
So it's a bit of a sleeper. What about overall efficiency for the whole trip?
After 204 miles, the Renault 5 was the most efficient. It managed 3.9 miles per kilowatt hour.
And the BYD.
Right behind it, 3.8. Very respectable.
The Citroen, though.
The Citroen was surprisingly inefficient, only 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour. That poor efficiency basically canceled out its slightly bigger battery. Its real-world range was about 155 miles, identical to the Renault with its smaller pack.
That's disappointing.
Yeah.
Okay, money. This is the whole point of these cars.
Right. So, buying with cash, the Citroen is the cheapest and has the lowest total cost of ownership over 3 years. But only just. The BYD was the most expensive TCO.
But what about finance? Because that's how most people buy cars.
And here is the massive twist. On a PCP finance deal, because of its predicted poor resale value, the Citroen becomes the most expensive per month.
You're kidding?
Nope. It's 343 lies a month. The BYD, because of its stronger predicted value, actually becomes the cheapest, 309 nines a month.
So the car that's cheapest to buy outright is the most expensive on finance? That's a huge trap for buyers.
It's a critical point. You have to look past the sticker price, which brings us to the future and this new Volkswagen.
The ID Polo. This seems like a big strategy shift for VW.
It's a huge shift. They're moving away from those slightly odd, futuristic ID designs. The ID Polo is all about familiar looks, traditional usability, and a really sharp price point. They're aiming for around 25,000 pounds.
Which in pounds is, what, about 22,000 pounds?
Roughly, yeah. So it immediately undercuts all of these current contenders.
And their strategy is to outbalance the Renault 5, not on style, but on pure pragmatism.
Exactly. They are focusing on interior space, putting more physical buttons back in, and giving it a comfortable, composed ride. They're betting that most people care more about that than sharp handling.
So let's look at the data for the base model.
Okay, the ID. Polo Base will have an 85 kilowatt motor and a 37 kilowatt hour LFP battery.
LFP. Just to remind everyone, that's the cheaper, more durable battery chemistry, right?
Yeah, it is. A bit less energy dense, but it gets that base price down. And even with the smallest battery, its WLTP range is a competitive 300 kilometers, which suggests it's super efficient.
And it has the biggest boot of all of them at 435 liters.
By a mile, they are all in on practicality.
What about the high-performance versions?
This gets even more interesting. There's a high-end ID. Polo coming with a 155 kilowatt motor and a bigger 52 kilowatt hour NMC battery.
So more power, more range.
A lot more. It's priced higher, around 35,000, but it gets 450 kilometers of WLTP range. That easily beats the Renault 5's 412.
And the charging speed.
This is a key differentiator. The VW will charge at 1.6 kilowatt hours per minute. The Renault and Mini Aceman are stuck at 1.1. That means the VW is adding range over 40% faster.
That is a massive advantage. Okay, so let's try to wrap this up. Looking at the cars on sale right now, the Renault 5 is the winner of that three-way test.
It is. Best to drive, best interior, best tech. It's the most complete package.
But the BYD is a really compelling alternative. Faster charging, surprise performance.
And better real-world range. It's a very strong contender. The Citroen, sadly, comes in last. Poor efficiency and slow charging really hurt it.
But the big picture here is that VW ID Polo, it signals a huge shift.
It does. VW is realizing that for EVs to go mainstream, they need to be practical, easy-to-use replacements for petrol cars, not weird science experiments.
That focus on space, traditional controls, and strong performance numbers. It's a huge threat to the Renault 5's momentum heading into 2026.
The choice for buyers is about to get very interesting. It's charm and driving fun versus pure, straightforward utility.
So that's the question for you, the listener, to think about. When these cars land, does VW's return to basic space, practicality win out over the style of the Renault or the surprise value of the BYD?
I think the key takeaway from all this is that the affordable EV battle is complex. You have to really focus on what matters for your life. Don't just look at the price tag.
And here's a final thought for you to take into the new year. What's the overlooked feature that's going to become the next big thing? For example, the sources mentioned the BYD has a 6-year warranty. That's double what Renault and Citroen offer. Is that kind of long-term peace of mind going to be the deciding factor for people in 2026? Something to think about.
That's a great point.
As we close out the year on this December 31st, thank you for diving deep with us. May 2026 be a year of fast charging, clear thinking, and smooth rides for all of you. Happy New Year.